Todd's Odds with Todd Fuhrman, the former odds maker at Caesars, and what a guy he is. He's in Las Vegas, Nevada. Todd, we won't talk about what happened to the Americans at Copa America. Let's focus on Canada now. Let's focus on the positive, silver linings. But here's the negative for Canada. Tajon Buchanan, broken tibia. He's out of the tournament. It's a blow for Canada as they head into their quarterfinal matchup against Venezuela on Friday. They are slight underdogs. Do you think they will still pull through?
You know, here I was, Jay, going to come on your fine airwaves and wish you a happy belated Canada Day, and then you decide to hurl a cheap shot in my general direction, knowing how disappointing it is that the red, white, blue find themselves on the outside looking in of the knockout phase of Copa America. But you look at Canada, and I have to imagine that Jesse Marsh and company feel it is a very favorable draw in terms of looking at the opponents that they could have faced in this particular round. Now, I know Venezuela has shown a little bit more firepower than the Canadian side, but the one thing that's impressed me the most, with the Argentina game notwithstanding, is how airtight that Canada has been in their defensive third. Maxime Crépeau has really raised some eyebrows in a positive manner, and knowing the format of this tournament, if Canada can grind out a 1-0 result or even take it to penalty kicks directly after regulation, I think the path does exist for them to find a path into the semifinals. You'd like to have Tajon Buchanan and another offensive weapon at their disposal. But I think Canada, an extremely live underdog, if they're able to slow down some of the offensive prowess that we've seen from Salomon Rondon.
Okay, let's talk about Euro 2024. Todd, as you know, all tournament long, England has been the outright favorite. Until now, Todd Fuhrman, Spain has caught them as co-favorites. They're followed by France. Todd, now that we're at the quarterfinals, who do you like?
I mean, I made a case for Portugal before the tournament. Unfortunately, I feel like that's a bit of a sunk cost, Jay, and their number has drifted out to a better price threshold. I think they're going to have their hands full with Team France in their quarterfinal matchup. I'm a little bit surprised that everybody is selling their England stock. Now, I know it's taken a little bit of hooker by crook for them to get to this point, but they still have the most favorable road. I think they get a Swiss side that's a little bit overvalued. And sometimes it's all about survive and advance during the knockout phase of an international tournament. So I think England at that price tag actually makes a little bit of sense, just shy of 4-1. And I'm not buying Spain. I actually think the host nation, Germany, has a little bit too much in their offensive third. They'll challenge that Spanish back line that I know people are enamored with what they've seen from Spain thus far. But you go through their opponents, and I think all of them leave a little bit to be desired. So I think Germany dispatches Spain in the quarters. And I think we're talking about England into the semifinals, most likely matching up against the Dutch.
Let's talk about what has been a terrific WNBA season, Todd, and the two young rookie superstars, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. They have made the All-Star game, which is cool to hear. Now, Caitlin Clark is still the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, but Angel Reese is setting records and is having a terrific season. Do you see any scenario where Reese catches Clark and potentially overtakes her in the second half of the season?
I've been surprised to see how this market has moved, Jay. When you look at Angel Reese, who was a big-time long shot no more than about 2 weeks ago, but the price has gotten much more manageable. She checks in right now a shade less than 4-1. And you mentioned some of the stat lines that she's putting up. I mean, this is the kind of rivalry the WNBA needs. And we had Caitlin Clark here in our backyard last night. It was actually the largest attendance ever for a sporting event at T-Mobile Arena. And that, of course, includes the Golden Knights winning a Stanley Cup in that building a little bit more than a year ago. So it's really sweeping the nation. I think Caitlin Clark, as long as she doesn't fall on hard times, has an inside track to win this award. But I can also understand why Angel Reese is starting to garner a lot more respect in that Rookie of the Year market than she would have just a few short weeks ago.
Todd, for me, I'm advocating for the Jason Kidd Grant Hill Co-Rookie of the Year award. I feel like that would be best for the WNBA. So hopefully they can fix it so that it works out that way. But moving on to the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, Todd. 4th of July on Thursday. First of all, happy 4th of July to you, my friend, and all our American friends watching illegally on satellites in southern states across that great nation. We know that Joey Chestnut, friend of the program, has been banned from the competition for his endorsement of vegan hot dogs. So, Todd, will you still watch the Nathan's Hot Dog competition, which will be on TSN, by the way? Someone by the name of Jeffrey Esper is the favorite, by the way.
Jay, when you think about how we celebrate holidays here in the stateside, no better way than to celebrate American independence with emphasis on gluttony. Now, of course, when you don't have the real quintessential American hero in Joey Chestnut, the event no doubt loses a little bit of luster. But I think it also creates some intrigue to figure out who can grab that mustard belt away from him. I'm not sure I'm running to bet either of the favorites just yet. We've seen a little bit of back and forth. But what I think is most fascinating about this, we've seen Joey Chestnut consistently end up with a winning score north of 70. You're looking at a lot of the forecasts for the favorites in this event in the high 40s, even into the low 50s. This feels a little bit anticlimactic. And I know most people may be focusing on what will happen on the next American summer holiday, Labor Day weekend, when we get to see Joey Chestnut against another competitive eating icon, potentially in Kobayashi, in a special made-for-TV event.